Formed a luxury home in Miami in a raid connected to the theft of cryptocurrency. The government says it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Authorities took Melon Lam into custody. At the same time, the FBI arrested Jandiel Serrano in Los Angeles. They say he's connected to the same investigation. They're charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to launder money.
Melon Lam and Jandiel Serrano, just 20 and 21 years old, stole a mind-blowing $230 million in Bitcoin. From luxury cars and designer watches to wild parties in Miami and LA, they lived like kings. But how did they pull off one of the biggest crypto heists in history? And what led to their downfall? Let's dive into the full story. In August of 2024, two young guys, Melon Lam and Jandiel Serrano, just 20 and 21 years old, pulled off one of the most jaw-dropping crimes in cryptocurrency history. But before we dive into how they spent the money, let's talk about the victim, the person who lost $230 million in Bitcoin. The victim was a wealthy individual based in Washington, D.C., someone who had amassed a significant amount of Bitcoin, over 4,100 of them to be exact. That's worth $230 million at the time of the theft. According to federal prosecutors, Melon Lam and Jandiel Serrano used sophisticated phishing techniques to gain access to the victim's cryptocurrency account. Phishing is when scammers trick you into revealing your private information, like passwords or security keys, by pretending to be someone you trust, like a bank or a service provider. They created a fake but convincing website or email, tricking the victim into sharing sensitive details. The victim reported the theft immediately, and federal authorities began investigating. But by that point, Lam and Serrano had already started laundering the stolen Bitcoin and spending it on their lavish lifestyle. But here's where things get interesting. While cryptocurrency might seem untraceable, it's actually built on blockchain technology, which keeps a public record of all transactions. Investigators followed the digital trail left by the stolen Bitcoin, analyzing blockchain records and uncovering how Lam and Serrano tried to cover their tracks. Despite using mixers and VPNs to obscure their activities, they couldn't hide forever. The authorities pieced together the evidence, connecting the stolen funds to their lavish spending habits. With $230 million in stolen Bitcoin, Lam and Serrano didn't hold back. They blew the money on extravagant lifestyles, luxury cars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, designer watches worth tens of thousands of dollars, and private parties in Miami and Los Angeles. They rented multi-million-dollar homes, splurged on high-end jewelry, and lived as if the money would never run out. It was the definition of YOLO, but on a criminal scale. This heist wasn't just about greed. It also highlights the double-edged sword of cryptocurrency. On one hand, Bitcoin and blockchain offer transparency. On the other hand, they can provide anonymity for criminals. This case isn't just a wild story. It's a wake-up call for anyone in the crypto space. Never share sensitive information online, no matter how legitimate an email or website looks. In the end, Melon Lam and Jandiel Serrano thought they could have it all: money, luxury, and anonymity. But the technology they exploited ended up being their downfall. Now, they're facing federal charges and possibly decades in prison. It's a reminder: no matter how smart a criminal thinks they are, justice has a way of catching up.